to the show, Ashlee. Well, welcome back.
You'd think I don't have anything else to talk about.
I know there's always going to be something with us, though. There's always something with us because, like, for those who don't know, this is like we were just saying 12, 13, 110, I don't know, something. How many times between the two shows? Shit.
Yeah.
Because like the first time you were ever on was September of 2021, and we had met in the Faces of Opioids, I think. Right?
Yeah. One of those groups.
One of
I'm in
those
a few
groups.
of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I'm in a bunch of recovery groups. But there's always going to be something when we've been in recovery and we both had relapses, over the last 4 years since we met. That I feel like, there's always going to be, shit, we talk all the time outside of,
Yeah.
recording. So there's obviously always something to talk about with us.
Right.
And I think it's because we're both so into recovery in general, like we kind of live our recovery.
Right.
Like, 'cause I feel you do,
Mhm.
where you're posting about it, you're in connection with people in recovery. Um, we we both have had over the years untraditional recovery, I would say.
Yeah.
Since like I used to use cannabis and you still do.
Yeah.
And
I've done many phases, like total abstinence, like I've done
yeah,
quite
and
a few.
I'm in the total abstinence phase right now myself. And I don't hate anybody on, whether they're abstinent or not, as long as, you feel like you're healthy, your life's not unmanageable, that's the biggest
Exactly.
thing for me is the unmanageability.
Hmm.
Um,
And that's
because
like stuff I learned over the years too, because I
yeah,
feel like when I first got sober, it was like pounded in my head, like total abstinence. If you're
yeah,
doing this, you're not sober. You know what I mean? So like it was
yeah,
like progressive. Like the first time I got sober was 2017.
yeah,
Like I mean, open-mindedness.
yeah.
I'm very open-minded and I've just been willing to learn. I've
Yeah,
been,
I came into recovery in 2018. April 25th, 2018 was my first like stint in recovery.
yeah,
Actually, I just talked about it the other day because we're recording on January 17th, and January 5th was my 13th month clean since coming back from that Xanax relapse last November. And I talked about how it was kind of a big deal for me because my first time in recovery, my sober date was April 25th, 2018, and then I relapsed on May 25th, 2019, on exactly 13 on the dot. And it was because I was tired of AA.
yeah,
They were giving me shit for using cannabis, and and I didn't truly feel like maybe I'm not an alcoholic, and I needed to, I had a reservation, and I needed to prove to myself whether I was or wasn't an alcoholic. And turns out I am. But I quit, drinking. I haven't had a drink since February 28th of 2020, you know. So it's coming up on 6 years without a drink, and I could care less about alcohol today. I don't need to test that boundary or anything again. It's not for me anymore. That's all.
right.
Um, so I wanted to start off with, let's start with breaking free from AA. You left AA recently, right?
I did. AA has been a part of my recovery since I've been in and out since 2017. AA has been like a constant. And I think it was like basically Facebook, the internet, where I got introduced to like Cali sober and like harm reduction and things like that. So like I said, I'm open minded.
Yeah.
I'm willing to learn different things. And then I would sit in AA meetings and some of the things I would hear, and just like the way somebody would comment to somebody who's like, they came to the meeting from a rehab, you know what I mean? Like they're fresh. And
Yeah.
you got some old person saying some bullshit to them. And then these people are like, I don't even want to come back here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just like some of the stuff people can say is it's
It's
I
really, really dangerous what people can say these days.
It can be. And like it's and you notice it like courts will court order you to go
Yeah.
to meetings. Like, it's
Yeah.
used as a form of treatment, and it should not be used as a form of treatment. It's a support group,
Yeah.
but it's not a form of treatment.
Yeah, you see people at those meetings with the core card in their hand, just counting the clock and not participating whatsoever. And
Right.
they're taking seats from people who want to be at the meetings,
Yeah.
and it's just a form of punishment for people who, for judges and lawyers, they use it as a form of judge for a punishment. Like, hey, you got a DUI, so we're gonna make you sit into a AA meeting for every day for 90 days and get this slip signed.
Yeah.
Like, it's a punishment. It's like going to detention for them.
They're forcing sobriety, and I
Yeah,
mean, you
that's not
can
how it works.
try, right? You can try all you want, but I mean, you're not.
Like, I don't know the numbers on it. I'm not even sure if there are numbers on it. But, if I had to say, I would say 1% of those people actually stick and stay after that 30 or 90 day,
Yeah.
mandatory, going there. And those are the people that are already open-minded, like you said. They're already open-minded about, well, I was teetering with the idea of stopping drinking, or this was an eye-opener and I want to learn something. You have those people, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But majority of those people are going to go right back out to doing the same shit as soon as they don't got to do drug tests anymore, as soon as they get all their course slips signed.
Yeah.
And I knew of a meeting in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if they still do this. They've been around like 70 years, so I'm sure they're still around. I can't remember their name. They had a certain name. They were a really strict AA meeting, like really strict. And I got to call somebody and get their name. But anyway, they would sign your course slip at the door. They wouldn't sign it at the end.
You didn't have to go in. You could just get it signed and go.
Because they didn't want you taking a seat from somebody who wants to be there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. They're just cutting right to the chase. Fuck it. If you don't want to be here, you don't got to be here.
Yeah, here's your slip sign. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember their name. It's pissing me off. But they have like a certain like name, But anyway, what was your do you remember the last time you went to a meeting? I mean, it's January 17th. Well, let's start with this for everybody who's watching, might not know you. What is your recovery date, your new one? I'm going to say recovery date, not sober date, not clean date. What is your most recent recovery date?
October 16th, 23.
Okay. So a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years and some change. And you went into AA October 16th. We'll call it October 16th. So October 16th, when you got back into recovery, did you get back into the rooms right away?
Oh, immediately. I went to detox for a week and I got home, I think on like a Sunday, maybe. And I immediately looked up meetings. I still felt like shit. And I found a woman's meeting because I was like, listen, I'm not even going to deal with any of the bullshit because you know how it can be with men and women and AA. I didn't want
13 steppers.
Yeah, I found a women's meeting. It was in a town like 20 minutes from me. And I went to it like I was still weak, shaky.
Yeah.
Sitting in this and it was all new. Like I didn't go to a meeting with anybody that I was familiar with from before.
Yeah. Is that because you wanted to like try something different?
Yeah. There was a group of people that I really felt like I needed to just break away from. It was time to cut ties with that. So I was jumping in. And
yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't work with that group of people if you went back to relapse again and went back to using. So, why do it again? So you got back into the rooms right away, right after detox. And I feel like you and me, you're at that point where if you have a bad relapse, you don't need to go to a full rehab stay. Just get me, detoxed and good again. And I know the drill. Get back into the work.
And I came home and I got on Vivitrol. As soon as I got home, I called the doctor that I knew I could get the Vivitrol injection from because I had done that before. Yeah. And I got scheduled for that immediately. And
Vivitrol is amazing. People don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
Sublocade and Vivitrol, Vivitrol the most effective, in my opinion. Because Sublocade doesn't do as much with the cravings as Vivitrol does, correct? Is that what it is?
Actually, I'm not too sure on that. And I have somebody who just recently got the Sublocade shot, and they have been using like a minimal amount of Suboxone. So actually, the Sublocade shot is like a lot more than what they've actually been taking. But they have said that like in the mornings that they're about to get their second injection, so they're about through their first shot.
Yeah.
That they're just getting used to not doing the daily routine because like they were on this Suboxone for like 12 years. So this was a daily thing. Yeah. But like minimal amounts.
Yeah. Still, I
So
mean, I'm still waking up withdrawing, I'm sure.
yeah, so I don't know.
Minimal or
We're
not.
just gonna try to see how it goes really because like I
Yeah.
said, using such a minimal amount, I don't know how much. Like people say they get 3 shots, so that's 3 months and then they're like off. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That's kind of newer to me. I feel like Sublicated. Now I'm getting a few people I know that are on it and getting feedback from them. But like Vivitrol, I mean, they were forcing it. We were court ordered to get
Yeah.
on Vivitrol. So I was one of
Yeah.
those people who was forced into treatment.
But I've heard amazing things about Vivitrol, though, like, where the cravings go almost right away. I
Oh yeah,
mean, like,
I had nothing, no craving,
um,
no.
I had a guy on the show early on, Vince, who I've known since I was young. And he said he got on the shot and he went to meet up with his ex-boyfriend and because he hadn't seen him and he used to use with him. He needed to go there and say goodbye and end things, because they've been together for a couple years, just using the entire time though. So he felt
Right.
like he owed him a face-to-face breakup. And he went into his basement where they got high at every single day, saw lines on the table, and still had no craving to use.
Yeah.
And, that was a day after his first injection and still had no cravings to get high, just ended things and left and hadn't talked to him again.
Mhm.
And that's powerful shit right there to be able
Yeah.
to walk away like that. And,
And it's not addictive. You don't withdraw. You know what I mean?
withdraw.
Like you just,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
great.
know because you and I both had the method of choice for us was not shooting, was snorting. I know that you and I both were snorters. And I can't imagine walking in, even being away from opioids for 7.5 years. I haven't done a line of anything in 7.5 years. That's a lie. I did lines of Vicodin or Valium 2 years ago. But either way, I haven't done a perk 30 line of a perk 30 in years, 7.5 years, almost 8 years.
Well, it's even
And
scary now. They're not even, you don't even know if you're
they're
even
not even real unless I get them straight from the pharmacy. I
yeah.
don't know what's in that shit.
Yeah. You don't
You
even know
know,
if you're getting a pill for
even
real.
fentanyl, you don't know what's in it. Like I have a good friend from back home in Jersey. She got on methadone last June. And her and I discussed it a lot before she got on methadone. She had been battling opioids for like 15 years. And she never did methadone to get off. And, she was just so bad on fentanyl. She knew she had to, right?
Yeah.
And she, with methadone to get drug tested and all that. And her drug test came back for like Xanax and all this stuff. And like, she's like, I've never even recreationally taken Xanax in my entire life. And yet it was mixed in her fentanyl that she was
Mhm.
getting in Camden.
And it's not even just that. Like it's like the fuck shit, like the tranquilizers we were dealing
Oh
with
my God.
xylazine.
Xylozine's fun.
Now I'm not quite sure how to say the word, so don't nobody quote me. Met Medadotamidine. It
I
starts
don't,
with an M,
okay.
and that's what's being put in with the fentanyl now. It's a type of tranquilizer.
Oh, is that the rhino tranquilizer? Is that
Um,
the rhino one? I've heard of xylazine is the horse trank that
it's
basically started
replacing
out of Philly and went
xylazine.
west. But I heard recently of rhino trank on Dark Side. I've heard somebody mention rhino trank on Dark Side recently. Are you in Dark Side 5.0 now, the new one?
I think I joined it, yeah.
Okay, because 4.0 got shut down a couple weeks ago.
Oh, shit, I didn't
Yeah,
even
now there's a 5.0.
Okay.
For those who don't know what we're talking about.
If you're a scumbag and you like dark
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah, so, yeah, if you like dark humor and you're in recovery, I mean, even if you're not and you're still using, rarely people are watching my show who are just normies that, I know one person who was a family member that's a normie, just likes watching my show. Besides that, everybody I know watches it is either in addiction or in recovery from addiction. If you're on Facebook, which most of us are begrudgingly these days, there's a group on Facebook called Dark Side of the Spoon, which is obviously in reference to people that shoot up drugs and, you get light in a spoon, dark side, you get it. Dark Side Spoon, Ashlee and I were in 2.0, and then that got shut down. That got what they call zucked. And then there was a 3.0 zucked, 4.0 recently zucked, and now it's a 5.0.
All right.
And people post memes. That's what's supposed to be. It's supposed to be memes. But that shit is not just memes. It is
sometimes it's people begging for money and shit. Like it does get so funny. It's good.
And they get roasted. I love when I see somebody begging for money. I see 60 comments in 2 minutes after the post. And I'm like, oh my God, they're getting roasted. Half the comments are boof it.
I was gonna say that. Recently, I was in a harm reduction.
Have you ever boofed anything, Ashlee?
No.
Neither have I.
I was at a harm reduction conference and like they discuss boofing like often. So like it must be like a thing. And you know how they make like safe injection kits? They have boofing kits. And I was like, I need some. I brought some home like just for the hell of it. And I'm like, I don't know anybody who's actually told me like, yeah, boof it, but
I've never. I not that it's just weird. Okay. So you don't have to Google it and you don't know what we're talking about. You can get high and drunk by putting drugs or alcohol, how should I say this, through your asshole. Is the only way I can delicately say it.
You know what? One time in high school, I had heard that you could put stuff up your butt, and I did have my best friend at the time put an ecstasy pill
up yours or hers?
Mine. She did it for me.
Did it work? Did it work? Did you roll?
Yeah.
Did you roll? You did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that your? How often had you done ecstasy? Because we never talked about ecstasy in you.
It was a big thing. Yeah, that was like a good chunk period when I was like 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
That's why I
got
brain damage.
Did we talk about it episode 1? I'll have to go back. Maybe. I don't remember us talking about ecstasy.
When I talk about like building up,
maybe. I mean? Well, I'll have to go back. There's 273 episodes out, Ashlee. I mean, there's so much information that I've had to take in over the last 4.5 years. So how often had you been doing it the first time you had boofed it?
That we were probably doing it like every weekend. Not boofing it. I only boofed it the one time, but yeah.
Did you notice a difference in that role?
I don't think so. I think we were just, it was, compare it to
you call it rolling too, right?
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, rolling is what you call when you're on ecstasy is rolling. Instead of, getting drunk or getting high, you call it rolling.
Yeah.
It's almost like you take acid, then you're tripping out.
Yeah.
It's the expression used. I've only done ecstasy like 2 or 3, maybe 4 times. And it wasn't like for me. I remember the last time I took it, I was sitting at a house party and I was just sitting there like ear to ear smiling. You know what I mean? Just like chain smoking, just like smiling. And someone looked at me and he's like, "You in ecstasy right now?" I'm like, "What?" Like, like what? Like you have a shit-eating grin on your face for the last 10 minutes and you're not looking at your phone. You're not sitting there talking to anybody. You're just sitting there smiling.
Just happy, man.
like just happy to be here, you know?
Yeah, I loved it. I did. And I was in a great mood.
Yeah, this was 2008 was the last time I'd probably say I used it. Was September 2008, which was a month before I got into Oxy.
Mine was, it's been a long time since I've done ecstasy. High school, probably, I'd say.
Yeah, I was 22 at the
Once
time.
I found what I wanted, when I got the
Yep,
opiates, that's when I
exactly.
knew I had arrived,
Yeah,
that's
the
what I
arrival moment. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That we talk about in AA. Actually, I remember the first time I did ecstasy was because, and then we'll move on. If we're on this topic, I want to talk about it a second. I was laying in bed in my apartment. I was 22. I had my own place, and I had a couple of friends that had keys to my apartment because like I'd always be drunk or high and lock myself out. So
sure.
like a bunch of people had keys, and I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden like two of my friends walked into my room, and it was two of them, and my one friend said, "Hey man, we got some ecstasy," and he showed me a bag of just straight up pills, just a lot of them. And he's like, I got some ecstasy to sell. Like, we're gonna go into Philly at blah blah blah's house, and we're gonna go out. Like, come on. And I'm like, dude, I got work at like 9 a.m. While I was working at Best Buy at the time. I was like, I
Mhm.
work at like 9 a.m. I don't feel like doing shit. It's like 10 o'clock at night on a Friday. Like, I don't feel like doing shit. And my one friend that was with him was the person I had been drinking with since I was 11. And we grew up doing everything together.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, then I guess I'll have done a drug that you've never done then. I was like, fuck, give me two.
Yeah, me too.
That's all it took was that one sentence. I guess I'll have done a drug you never done. I was like, well, now I have to.
Yeah, it was wild.
Man,
I was
that
wild.
easy. So when did you leave we'll go back all the way. AA got in October, blah, blah. And when did you decide to leave AA? Do you remember how long ago it was?
It was probably like mid-November.
Okay.
I think I went to the first meeting the first week in November, and I think that's when I was like, yeah, I think I'm done.
Did you like tell the group? Did you break up with a sponsor? Like what happened?
I did afterwards through a text message because actually everybody from the home group wasn't at the meeting because I did want to do it face to face, but everybody wasn't there. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just send a text message. And basically it was honestly, I felt like I couldn't discuss like my choice to use marijuana in my recovery. I didn't feel comfortable that I would be accepted. But then also
Accepted.
some cattiness started, which it's a women's group, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a gang of them got together and was talking shit about one, and then like I just that's when I just was already getting turned off. It because I'm just joining different groups, learning new
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? Like opening my mind, and I was already it was building up, and then like that happened, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And then like honestly, like it's kind of sad because the sponsor I had, like she uses AA for like everything. That is her life, everything.
Yeah.
Um and the cattiness was about her, and I told her about it. And I said, "This is why I'm leaving. I don't like it. This is what the fuck they said." Um, and it hurts me that like I told her because I felt she should know, but like she's like genuinely like hurt and like tore up by this because AA like is all of it to
Like
her.
she doesn't do like therapy, like outside help or anything.
No,
Like straight up
no,
relies on
no.
AA for everything.
And actually now since I left, like she is trying to be like dependent on me. Like I'm her sponsor. And I'm like, sister, don't you have a sponsor? Like, isn't that how this works? Like, I
Yeah.
got my own. I'm sorry that they talk shit and you're like upset. Either cuss them out or you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Move on. Bitches suck. Like that's I don't know. I don't know what to say, but
Yeah. And NA, and because I do NA,
yeah,
and we encourage seeking outside help. and I'm a huge proponent of seeking outside help.
Right.
I have a therapist, I have a psychiatrist. My wife and I have a couples therapist, I'm not ashamed to say,
Yeah.
and all of it. And I keep connected. Obviously, you and I talk about recovery shit all the time.
Right.
Not that it's the basis of our friendship. We talked about other things. But like, you and I also do talk. I would say it's 50-50, a healthy split of talking about just, regular personal shit that goes on in our lives. I've come to you with stuff that's outside of recovery. You come to me with stuff outside of recovery. And, we became good friends over the last 4 years. I'm grateful for our friendship because it's not just about recovery with us. It's about just being humans,
Yeah.
and people that live regular lives where our identity isn't surrounded by recovery. Like you
Right.
said, that sponsor, when you make your identity recovery, like it's hard to break out of that, it's hard to live a regular, life where people get dependent on meetings, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what you noticed too?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like,
Yeah.
so at some points, yeah, I have felt like I needed meetings, but I also was seek outside help. I was in like drug counseling. I seen a doctor, you know what I mean? Like I was doing all the shit, my
Yeah.
mental health. But it's just some people don't, and AA that's it. And
Yeah.
it,
Because that was my other question was, are you still in contact with people, from that meeting, that, and so obviously, that sponsor still reaches out to you.
right.
And so we're going to backtrack a little bit to the first time you got into recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Who is, should we say his name? No, yeah, fuck him. We'll say his name. Who is Richie Webber?
Richie Webber is a local celebrity. Well, not so much a celebrity like in our area anymore, but he's somebody who got into recovery and turned into a scumbag, realized how he could manipulate people, got in with rehabs to get heads in beds type of thing.
A body broker? I
Yeah.
call him body broker.
Yeah, manipulate females to, I'll take you to treatment if you do this type of sexual favor for me type thing. Yeah, and I wasn't when I first met him, I actually wasn't sober. And I ended up going to a meeting because I was hanging out with some dude who like was sober, was pretending to be sober. I don't remember. But Richie came and picked us up and took us to a meeting. And so like, that's how I got introduced to him. And so then it just so happened, I think, around that time is when I got my OVI and, had to go to probation, finally got caught up and, had to get sober, or it was go to jail or get sober. So, shortly after that, when I had to get sober, like that's when I reached out to Richie and asked, if I could get involved, go to more meetings. He had started a nonprofit where he ran his like own meeting. It was like an all recovery type. It wasn't AA. It was just, you know what I mean? Just we can whatever.
Yeah.
So I got into that, was super involved with that. And then it got to the point where like I became sexually involved with him. As he's
hold on. For some reason you're okay, wait, hold on. You're like freezing for a second. Okay, now you're good. All right. So you were saying about you got into what?
I don't remember where I just was.
You were on a roll.
When I got
Richie Webber and you decided.
And I contacted Richie to go to meetings and got involved with his nonprofit. He ran his own meeting. It was an all recovery type meeting. And it was a lot of females that attended. And then I had become like sexually involved with him. And then upon discussing with other females in this group, there's several women that are like sexually involved with him. And he's supposed to be like, I don't know, like a mentor type, you know what I mean? Like a type mentor, of I'm here to help you type person. And And honestly, this is okay.
But
He's the person that's like, contact me and I'll get you into rehab. When I first got sober, when I was forced to get sober, I detoxed at home. And Richie had told me, like, I had Medicaid at the time. You know what I mean? I was using that's where I was. I had Medicaid. So Richie's like, if you need anything, contact me. And these are the posts that he makes on Facebook. I'll get you into rehab. Contact me. Da da da. So I made it to like day 2 of detoxing, and I couldn't do it. I was going crazy. Contacted Richie,
it's
and
horrible.
I'm thinking that he can help get me in somewhere. You know, that's what he does. He gets people into rehab. And then the question came up of what kind of insurance do I have? I have Medicaid.
Yeah.
He told me best he can do is I need to get to the psych hospital and tell him I want to kill myself and get myself put on a 72-hour hold so I can go detox there. Got absolutely no help from him because I didn't have the proper insurance that he could line his pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still stuck around after that because I wasn't educated on the whole body brokering and you know what I mean? Like, I was fresh. I didn't know any of this shit.
I didn't know shit about it. And I didn't know shit about it until a few months into, when I got into, rehab, and people were like, oh, like, the only reason I'm here is because of this, that. And it's like, wait, what? And that's how I learned what body brokers were. But wait, I want to backtrack a little bit because you kind of went over it really fast. You said you got sexually involved.
Mm-hmm.
Who came on to who? How did that go down? Like, were you still in addiction when you started hooking up with them?
I don't believe so. I think it was after I detoxed and such. And I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he
And
initiated it. But I have a terrible memory. But yeah.
it's like slid into your DMs.
Yeah, text, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there
And
was like several other girls that also, and like some of these girls were still in active use, and he would manipulate and use it as like, hey, I'm concerned, I'm worried about you. You should come over to my house, and then, take advantage of these females when they're vulnerable. Instead of
no, that's what I wanted to ask you is what was, were you hooking up with them because you liked him or because you were going to get something out of it or he was going to get something out of it?
I feel like I was just having a fun time, doing it just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then there was like another person in our area who started to do the same thing that like Richie was doing. So this is when I started to be like, oh, you work for a rehab out of West Virginia. You know what I mean? You send people to West Virginia. How do you do that? Like, okay. So Richie and this other dude are both working for rehabs and stuff, and they're like BFFs. Well, I don't know what happened, but they fell out. And Richie Webber is a slime ball. And what he did was he tried to get a female to lie and say that she was raped by this other dude. And I was actually contacted as well and asked to lie and say that I was raped by this individual. And I refused. And I refused to talk to the police. I'm like, this is crazy,
That is so fucked up.
And it happened. It got taken to court. I was subpoenaed to go, and I didn't even make it to me having to go up on the stand. I think it lasted a day, and he was found not guilty, but like his life's ruined,
Yeah, it's not about the guilty. Once you get that label, before even the court case, I mean,
yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah, like I've seen it on the internet, like there are people, they have these pages like, "Are we dating the same guy?" Like I've seen people post his
Yeah,
pic
I've seen that.
and
Yeah.
his name and be like, "Does anybody know him?" And then boom, here goes females in the comments like, "Oh, he went to court for rape," and like, and it's all just over like somebody being jealous that somebody else is about to
Yeah.
do well. And that's when like I
Yeah.
really was like, this is some crazy shit. Like, and then Richie began like the whole sending people to South Florida. Started to catch on to all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, why this is like a big deal is because they're making commission on you going away. And sometimes they will be so slimy is like, I had a buddy on here that I met in rehab and now he's doing well. He was wrapped up in that, body broker thing where, somebody would actually say to him, "Hey, go get high, go there and go into rehab, say that I was your connection into rehab. I'll get $2,000 in commission, do 30 days in there, you'll get 3 meals a day, and when you get out, I'll give you half the money. And then after 30 days of getting high again, go to another one. I'll get the commission and so on." And
It's crazy.
it's just
Have
yeah.
you ever heard of the
And an
Fuck
addict is
Heroin
desperate.
Foundation?
The what?
The Fuck Heroin Foundation?
Never heard of it.
They're out of Florida. I actually had a friend and they're not I don't know how to spit this out. They're a for-profit company. Number one. Number two, they paid for my friend and her boyfriend's flight to Florida, which is like a red flag. And then
Yeah.
the foundation got them fake insurance policies, got them into treatment, and then whatever happened, and I don't know if I got found out, and that's why they got cut, but they got cut,
Yeah.
and my friend and her boyfriend were literally just dumped off in the middle of South Florida.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the other thing they do is improper UAs.
Oh yeah.
Some of these rehabs will actually, what's how do I do this? So there's this guy, Eric Snyder, down in Florida, who is now in jail for a long time. He owned a rehab, but I grew up with him, in South Jersey. He had gotten clean right around the time I got into addiction, like 2008. And he was down in South Florida, where the rehab mill is. It's crazy because South Florida had, the opiate mill, where you just go into a doctor and they give you scripts and you go fill it across the street.
Yeah. I know people
And you
from
can go.
Ohio who drove down.
They were on my show. There was a girl on my show. Her and her husband, they would pack their car with like 4 people. They would drive 23 hours or 21 hours, whatever it is. She was on the show right around the time you were, in 2021. And they would do this every week.
Uh-huh.
They would go down there, hit a few doctors, and they were getting like 3,000 pills a month. You come back to Ohio and unload them at
Yeah.
like $10, $15, $20 a pop. That's
It was
crazy
crazy.
numbers.
It was crazy times. Crazy times. I know people, they were getting
Yeah.
perks and methadone prescriptions at the same time from the same doctor.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And a bunch
Yeah.
of Xanax too. Add in the Xanax too.
I always got Xanax with my perks when I was doing doctor shopping. That's what it's called, people, doctor shopping. Where you shop around different doctors. All the doctors don't know about these other doctors, or they know and they don't give a shit. And they write you, scripts of whatever. Like the first time did you ever go doctor shopping, Ashley?
Not
You've ever
really.
been to?
Not
Okay,
really.
so
No. I've gone to like
have.
the emergency room for some,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah, so here's my experience with doctor shopping. So a guy that I was buying from, he said, "Hey, I have this doctor that I go to, and you're gonna go see him, and then we're gonna split the scripts. I'm gonna pay for your visits, and I'm gonna pay for you to get in, and I'm gonna be your referral." I'm like, you're my referral. Like, I'm supposed to get a referral for another doctor to see a specialist, right? And he's like, not this doctor. This doctor will write you scripts of anything. And you need a referral from another patient. This is how shady it is.
Yeah.
I work in, this field. I literally, schedule people all day long for orthopedics and podiatry and wound care. And most of them have referrals from their primary care doctor.
Right.
This doctor, your referral needed to come from a current patient who the doctor already saw, which is basically saying like,
cool.
hey, I'm vouching for you that you're not a cop and you're going to be here for the right reason.
Yeah.
And it was $250 cash for the first visit, and and then $125 for every visit after that. And I was still unsure what's going to happen at this doctor, right? This was 2011, 2012. And I'm like thinking like, oh, am I going to say to this guy? Like, should I tell him I got into a bad car accident? This is me talking to myself, like on my way there. I'm like, maybe I'll tell him I was in a car accident, in another state. When I lived in Massachusetts, that's why I don't have the paperwork or the x-rays.
Right.
And maybe he'll just give me something. And I don't know. I have so much anxiety over this. And I get there and I walk in, the waiting room is packed with people.
Mm-hmm.
Packed. And God forbid you go there on a Tuesday or Thursday night, then it's slammed with people. But I would go during the day. And so I finally sit down with the doctor. And he sits down with me and goes, all right, so what do you want? I was like, what? I was like, well, I was in this car accident, in Massachusetts in 2006, and I really hurt my lower. He goes, no. What do you want? I'm like, I wanted to sit down with you, the doctor. He said, I know. This is your first visit, right? I said, yeah. He goes, what do you need a script of? I was like, 120, 30 milligram oxycodone and 120 1 milligrams Xanax. He's like, all right.
Thank you.
Make your appointment for your next visit in 28 days at the desk. I'll see you in 28 days.
And you know what? Like, I feel so bad because, like, the other day I was reading somebody's post and, like, people who genuinely need pain medication now cannot get it. And like, I just like this guy was trying to argue with me and I was like, just talking about, like when Purdue Pharma pushed oxys and how they talked about how it wasn't addictive and how they had doctors pushing it. And I was like, I really wish I had a fucking answer for you, but I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry that you need this and you can't get access to it because a fucking explosion happened. Like,
yeah. And it's the truth. They don't prescribe any of that anymore. I mean, like, because I work in orthopedics, so I work in a department where people getting surgeries where like knee replacements,
sure,
tears in their shoulder, like crazy kind of surgeries on their body. And their post-op meds are always 5 milligram oxy, sometimes 10. One time I saw 15 milligram in 4 years I've been there. I think one time I saw 15 milligram.
Yeah.
Never seen 30 milligram oxy. I have seen fentanyl a few times. I'll be honest. I have seen fentanyl a few times. But all of them were much older people.
Uh-huh.
Like in their like 80s with like so many problems in their body and like they can't get out of bed without fentanyl and they truly need it. Every time I see fentanyl though, right underneath of it is a script for Narcan.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very happy.
I'm glad that the doctors, are the doctors. So obviously they're smart, but like, intelligent is probably a better word, enough to also give a script for Narcan with the script of fentanyl. I think that's pretty cool.
Like Suboxone clinics, methadone clinics, they'll give out boxes in our hand too. And that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that. I heard about that. And I didn't even want to talk about methadone clinics, man. How much, people overprescribe Suboxone, yes, but methadone is crazy how much they overprescribe.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
it's rough to get
people
off.
end up being stuck in that cycle for decades
Yeah, it's
because
rough.
it's nearly impossible. Like early on, we said my friend got popped for Xanax the first time she went to the methadone clinic and she was confused. We had talked a lot about going in there, and I was like, I will support, because like I wasn't going to support it. Honestly, I was not going to support the methadone clinic, her going. And because I've seen so many casualties come from people that go to methadone clinic. And I straight up said, like, I'll support this if you basically go on an immediate taper. Go in, get your initial dosages,
Mhm.
do what you got to do to get off fentanyl, and then go on a taper.
Yeah.
And, you know, she agreed. She's like, yeah, I think you're right. You make a really good point. So she went in. I think her days are a day off of mine. So June 6th, she went in. And by like November, she had already tapered off. And now
Good.
it's been a few months with her taking nothing.
Yeah.
She ended up in the psych ward a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago. She ended up in the psych ward for like a week. But she got to see a psychiatrist for the first time in her life. And she got to get medicated for mental health meds that she desperately needed. And
Right.
now she's been better than ever.
Yeah, that's a big part of my
So,
problem is like the mental health, like having bipolar
yes,
disorder. I have bipolar disorder. So I have to be medicated or
me too. I got Cymbalta and Lamictal. Yeah, duloxetine and some duloxetine is Cymbalta. And yeah, Lamictal, Lamotrigine. I'm on both of them for being bipolar.
yeah.
So, and I have OCD, and I had gabapentin. But like I've been on gabapentin for like 7 years.
Right. I've been on it
Um,
a few years too.
where is your dosage at?
I
I'm
take
always curious.
300 milligrams a day. And I've been on that since 2017, 2018, something like that. Yeah.
That's what I started out at, was that in 2018. But over the years, I got bumped up. But it also had a lot to do with, at one point I was taking Zyprexa, which is for sleep. It's for sleep. And my psychiatrist at the time, who was not my psychiatrist anymore, was like, oh yeah, this would be great for sleep. And he did not tell me, even though he knew that like I have such like a thing about my weight, where like, it's really hard for me. Like my weight is a huge trigger, and it always has been since I was a kid. And I gained 100 pounds in a year and a half.
I bet that's the struggle with like why I don't know why so many like bipolar-ish head meds, like the weight gain, because
Yeah,
I find that I'm the best medicated when I'm on Seroquel.
I couldn't. I took it one
I
time and it put me in the hospital.
I blow up. You eat in the middle of
You
the
eat
night,
in the middle of the night. Yeah,
I don't know, and like I was almost 200 pounds. Like this has happened to me several times.
yeah,
So like I've done the med shuffle.
yeah.
But then I've always ended up back at Seroquel. I mean, right now
Mm.
I feel all right. I'm on amitriptyline. I was
I
on
take Remeltion for my sleep.
the duloxetine Cymbalta, but then when
Yes.
I got put on the amitriptyline, they're both serotonin inhibitors, I believe.
Okay.
So my doctor said
Pick
choose.
one. Yeah.
And I had to wean off the duloxetine because I don't know if you know
Yeah.
about the brain zaps and you come off that shit.
Horrible. Oh
Yeah,
my God. Those
yes.
brain zaps. Oh my God. I ran out for a few days.
It's
And
weird. Like when it first happens, you're like, what? Why do I feel like this? It's fucking strange.
was yours like you'd be laying there, and this is the sound I can best do, is like,
Yeah.
and your whole body jolts.
Yeah. It's so strange. And I picked the amitriptyline because that helps with my migraines as well. So,
Sumatriptan helps with my migraines. I take sumatriptan.
and then I have rizatriptan for if I get a migraine. That's like my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, you get Ryza, I get Suma, and the Ryza didn't work. Yeah, because my migraines are so bad that I'm on intermittent FMLA with work, where like I have to call out of work, and like it was starting to go against me, like count against me day wise.
Yeah.
So my manager's like, listen, call New York Life. That's a company we go through. They can put you on FMLA for your migraines. They'll contact your doctor to make sure it's legit. And when you get, a migraine, you didn't miss a half day or whatever, a full day, you call it in and it won't go against you. And I was like, okay. So like now I'm on that, which is great because now I can feel like I can call out and not have to worry about it going against me in a bad way. But yeah, at one point I was on rizatriptan, and then another doctor put me on sumatriptan, and then I met a neurologist finally, and she's like, pick one, and I picked sumatriptan, and that works very well for me. And obviously, I always have to have a script of Zofran, because do you get really nauseous on a migraine?
I do.
I throw up a lot,
And then it
personally.
makes it worse, from
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I haven't really had any. And I used to get more because I had like a pinched nerve in my neck, which caused like a different type of migraine. And I
No
got
shit.
injections for that for years,
The
but then
Botox ones.
I had nerve blocks, and then I was getting for a few years, and then I stopped getting relief from that, and then we moved on to the Botox. Well, then
Yeah.
I got the job that I have now, and I lost my Medicaid, and it's not covered with the insurance I'm offered because the insurance I'm offered is fucking terrible.
Terrible.
So, and honestly, like my neurologist had said, there's no way really to correct it. It'll either get better or it won't. And honestly, like I've stopped getting my injections last December, and my neck hurts sometimes. Like if I like move too fast or something, like I'll feel something, but thankfully, like I feel like maybe it's gone. So
Yeah.
I've been doing pretty all right with. And that's what the amitriptyline is supposed to do. It's supposed to like help manage my headache. So
Yeah, I switched around my meds recently back in like August. Well, that's around the same time I came off lithium. Because when I went to the psych ward last December, she put me on like 500 milligrams of lithium or 50 milligrams. I don't know, a lot. Put me on a lot of lithium twice a day. Didn't even give me blood work on me about my lithium before putting me on it. And then my psychiatrist, I was kind of in limbo for like 5 months while taking lithium and then I was not getting any blood work done about the lithium in my body. And I was still gaining weight, obviously, because lithium. And I finally got off of it and changed my meds around with a new psych, in August. And I hate admitting this in these numbers. So August 20th, remember I was really sick back in like September, and like it was a cancer scare. Well, August 20th is when all that kind of started, and when we started realizing shit was going on. I went to the doctor and I got on the scale and I saw a number that I had never seen before that scared the fuck out of me. And I hate saying this number. It was 420. 420 pounds. And I was devastated. Like, and that's not even like a good enough word. There is not an adjective I can use to describe how I felt when I saw that number.
Yeah.
Because usually to me, 420 was always a happy number, obviously.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life, that was not a happy number.
I mean, I can say the same when I seen 198. Like that's big for me. Like, and it was just.
Well, that's the only reason I'm telling you
go.
I felt comfortable saying it because you said that, and I felt like I'm gonna make Ashlee feel better and tell her this, even though everyone's watching now and they're both here. Everyone's hearing both of us say it, and I kind of wanted to say it, so because you said it. So 420 is what I saw, and that was 5 months ago now. Made a lot of changes to how I ate, and I can happily say the other day I weighed in at 337.
Fuck yeah. See,
So 83 pounds so far I lost since August 20th, 5 months ago.
hell yeah. See, that
So
would be a struggle for me. Like, I love junk food and
me
stuff.
too.
But
Me
see, I
too.
guess I'm just, if I'm not on damn a weight gaining pill, I can
Yeah.
eat all shit and be fine.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't eat all the shit. I have a slow metabolism.
I'm a,
And on top of that, yeah, all the meds. And so I changed the meds around with my doctor safely. I'm not my own doctor. You know what I mean? I don't try to, I used to be my own doctor for a long
been there,
time.
done that, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't work. And so I changed my meds around and I changed my eating habits. One of my biggest kryptonite was late night peanut butter crackers. We buy those sleeves, not the full sleeves, but half sleeves. You know what I mean? Of Ritz peanut butter crackers are like a half sleeve.
Yeah.
And I used to get a jar of peanut butter and get 2 half sleeves out, so basically a full sleeve. And I'd make peanut butter. I would sit there and I make peanut butter crackers, until they were all gone.
Mhm.
And I will say this: I am not light on peanut butter when I'm putting them on crackers. It is crackers with a side of peanut butter. You know what I mean? Like that shit is covered. And so I stopped eating peanut butter. Is one of the biggest things I did. Now, if I'm like sick or not feeling, you know what I mean, not feeling well, I have a migraine, I'll just eat the crackers and only the regular small size, sleeve, not a whole sleeve.
Yeah.
I'll just eat crackers by itself, and that's it. And I haven't eaten peanut butter in so long.
Butter.
That's a big thing that I did to kind of change things around. That has made a big impact. What else did I do? I don't eat really snacks at night ever anymore.
That's a big one. Yeah. Snacking at night.
I don't go back for seconds really on dinner time. I rarely go back and like eat seconds.
Yeah.
Usually when I get paid bi-weekly. We order Domino's for dinner.
Ew.
And because all the pizza sucks around here.
Oh, that sucks. So
Yeah.
Domino's is the best option? That's terrible.
Either way, moving on. We will get 3, small or medium sized pizzas, one for me, one for my wife, so we all can get what we want.
Mhm.
And my wife and my son always have like leftovers, and not me because I'm an addict. I don't know what leftovers means. I eat every single slice in one sitting right there until they're gone.
Yeah.
So like for example, last time we did it, I just got just chicken, like boneless chicken, and just had that instead. We got 2 8-pieces, and my wife had 4, my wife had 3, my son had 3, and I took 2 of them, and I had 10 total because they both had pizza as well.
Sure.
And yeah, that's what I ate. For my dinner that night was 10 pieces of boneless chicken, much healthier than me sitting down and eating an entire small or medium-sized pizza.
Right.
So those are like the little things that I've done to like, and then once I have different goals set up, which is I have 3 different goals for setup. So right now it's January 17th. I want to be 320 by February 20th. So another 17 pounds by February 20th. Because that'll mean 100 pounds in 6 months.
Hell yeah. Have you ever considered like the semaglutide? Like Wegovy,
I
Ozempic?
tried Wegovy. I was on it for like a month, and then they couldn't fill it anymore. Like it ran out of stock because everyone's doing it. And
A
like
lot of people I know go to like the salon. Like there's like the salon, we go to. It's a nurse practitioner that runs it. But yeah, you just get the semaglutide injections. But I mean, you're paying out of pocket. Yeah, I don't know
we looked into it recently, and it's a lot out of pocket for us, and it's just not. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, and so February 20th is my first goal for 320. And then I would like to be 300 even by the spring, and then incorporate exercising a lot. Because I'm just too big to feel comfortable exercising, to be honest, if I'm being honest. Like, it's just, I'm just not ready for it. I
Even
know
if
a lot
you
of
just
people
go walk, like when it gets nice out, even if you just go walk.
Well, that's the other thing. I hate treadmills. You know what I mean? I hate going on a treadmill. I'd rather go for like a long walk, smoke a few cigarettes. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and so when spring hits, I'm gonna start going for walks, because like right now it's snowing like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, where you and I live in an area where it snows a lot during the winter, and then there's ice everywhere. With Ohio and Pennsylvania, like we're right next to each other. And then so 300 by the spring, and then I would really love to be 250 by my birthday, September 29th, to be able to say I'm 250 when I turn 40, because I turned 40 this year.
Oh my word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know. But what makes me feel better about turning 40 is a lot of people, especially who I just meet, think I'm in my early 30s. And as I always say, is opiates keep you young.
Yeah, I'm happy that
Because you're what, like 34?
I don't look like what I've been through. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
When I tell people some stuff, they're like, what?
So, and you look like 27, 28.
Thanks.
Like was I right when I said 34?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was just
I'll be 35 this year. Yeah.
Your birthday's, well, wait, don't tell me. I think your birthday's around mine.
Yeah.
Is it October 1st?
Yeah,
or 3rd?
The 1st.
October 1st. That's right. We're 2 days apart when it comes to like calendar wise, not age wise. And wait. I'm trying to think of what your email is. Were you born in 91 or 92?
91.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, so you will be 35 this year.
Yeah.
That's kind of a milestone. You're on the wrong side of 30, Ashlee.
I hate it so bad. I just feel I hated turning 30. I feel like I woke up on my 30th birthday, like just permanently tired and back pain forever. And like, that was it. I just feel like after 21, it's all like, downhill.
Right now, you were on the right side of 30, but October 1st, you're on the wrong side of 30, Ash.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm just glad that we're both doing well right now. We can sit down and still do these, still friends, if not better friends than we were. I feel like we get closer every time we're on here. We're closer outside of this, and we talk a lot more. And you've been there for me a lot lately, and thank you for that. Because I've been going through a lot that I don't like to talk about, and you know what I'm talking about, and it's just been really nice to have our friendship grow over the last 4 years, outside the podcast and on the podcast, and getting to know each other. It's been really nice.
I'm a very empathetic person, and like I wouldn't say like a super talkative person, but like I can get a vibe. I can get like a vibe from people. If I get the vibe, like that's when I'm willing to like talk and like maybe open up myself. But I can feel others' vibes when they're down or whatever, and everybody needs somebody to talk to sometimes, Yeah. I've been there, and I get in my head so bad sometimes, and just, think to myself. And sometimes you just need somebody else who maybe is just as crazy as you, that you can bounce some things off of. And, I do have like a select few people that, maybe I can say some fucked up shit and
whatever. And I'm one of them.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to bounce some things off some people.
Yeah. You feel like you're not being judged.
Right.
That's the nice thing. When I come to you with stuff, I know that I can say things to you that you're not going to judge me for.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is you go to somebody and you're like, I'm afraid of what they're going to judge me for before they even answer me.
Right.
And I know when I come to you for something, like, you know, when I came to you back in, like, was it September, October, about what was going on.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't judge me. You know, it was October. We had an honest conversation about it. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you supported me through everything. And, you know, we continue to talk about it. And it's just been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's been really nice being able to have that kind of friendship.
Love people. That's just what people need. Nobody needs it. We beat ourselves up enough about anything. It can be anything. You know what I mean? People don't need somebody else in their face saying something, you know. I just whatever you're going through, anything.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody else.
Actually, I remember when the first time that we did this, I think we talked for like an hour and 45 minutes. And by the end, you had said, I'm not good at opening up, but for some reason I felt your vibe and I opened up more to you than I thought I ever would.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then a day later, you're like, I have some more shit to tell you, actually. Can we do another one? And I said, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You used the words, oh my God, because I made it the episode title of the next one. What words did you use? I gotta look. Hold on, people. You said to me, I'm looking up the episode title by going into my playlist. Where is it? Play content, season 1, because it was a really specific thing that you said, and I made the. Do you remember?
I forget.
We're going back to it now.
I barely remember what I ate for breakfast half the time, so I don't remember.
Here we go. The nitty gritty.
Yeah.
The nitty gritty. You said I have to get more into the nitty gritty with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I named it. The one where Ashlee gets into the nitty gritty of her addiction.
Yeah. And I actually see so much more of that on Facebook now, like people talking about that shit. The stuff we do to get what we need. It's out there, it's discussed. And that's why I felt like I wanted to talk about it, is because
normalize it.
Happens.
To normalize it.
Yeah.
You take the power away from it by talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you're not alone. You know what I mean? You feel like you're disgusting or something, you know, and it's honestly more common than you think. And people that are paying that you wouldn't even think.
Let's just say that.
You know, it's a whole thing. So yeah, I'm really happy to see a lot more people like coming out. Like I see a lot of social media people. That's their whole platform. Talk about how they used to do that work and So I'm with it. And there's like a whole nother side to like drug use, active addiction. Like people don't know, you know, it's not like just us using drugs. Like there's a lot more that goes into it, like the mental health shit, you know, and then what we got to do to get it. Like there's a whole thing. It's not just getting high. So
awesome. Well, you're the best, and go Niners. You know, now the Eagles are out because of you fucking guys.
Oh, yeah, I get to watch an hour of it.
I got my fingers crossed for you too, actually.
Oh yeah, I am excited.
You won't be awake for the game tonight because it's an 8 p.m. kickoff, and your ass is in bed by 7:30.
Yeah, but if we do win, it'll be wonderful because we have so many. Like all of our good people are out hurt.
Like, they are.
Purdy, so let's see. And it's the Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks.
I might even stay up. I don't know. I might be so anxious. I might watch it.
Yeah.
You know? So
I'll send you some energy drinks. I'll DoorDash you some energy drinks. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.